So what happened 5 nights ago?
I was looking up at the stars and the moon, but a shiny dot near the moon caught my attention.
At first I thought, could that be the pole star? But no, it wasn't.
As you can see in this video, pardon the not so great shot, but in the future, we will be able to get a better look through a telescope. This wasn't a star, it was Jupiter.
And that's where this story gets interesting.
Jupiter has almost everything it's take to be a star, but somehow it failed the test. So why didn't it become one? What stopped it? Let's find out.
Jupiter is not just the largest planet in our solar system. It's a planet that has fascinated humans for centuries.
More than 2500 years ago, ancient Babylonians were already tracking Jupiter's movements. They believed it had a powerful connection to their gods, calling it Marduk, after their king of gods. It was seen as a divine sign, influencing everything from battles to harvests. A few hundreds years later, the Greeks took their turn. The planet we know as Jupiter was called Zeus, the king of their gods. To them, it represented power, justice, and order. Then Romans continued the tradition, naming it after their own king of gods, Jupiter. For them, it became a symbol of power, watching over their empire.
But then, a moment came in history that changed how we see the universe forever.
In 1610, Galileo Galilei turned his newly crafted telescope towards Jupiter. That moment changed our place in the cosmos. Through Galileo telescope, Jupiter wasn't just another dot in the sky anymore. It had its own moon, 4 of them orbiting it, just like Earth orbits the sun. This discovery was a big deal because until then, most people thought everything in the sky had to revolve around the Earth. This belief had been around for centuries, but Galileo's discovery proved it wrong.
This simple observation opened the door to a new understanding of cosmos, a heliocentric model.
People no longer saw the stars and planets as distant divine beings. Instead, they become active, dynamic worlds, just like Earth. Now, to understand why Jupiter didn't become a star, we first need to know how stars are born. Out in space, there are these giant peaceful clouds of gas and dust. We call them nebula. For example, this is the Orion Nebula. It's about 1300 light years away from us, and it is one of the brightest nebula we can see in the night sky. Nebula don't stay peaceful forever. Something dramatic happens, like a nearby stars exploding in a supernova, or maybe two clouds crashing into each other. And suddenly, things get messy. The gas and dust start clumping together because of the gravity, and over time, these clumps get denser and hotter, forming what we call a protostar. This is like a baby star. The protostars pull in more and more gases from its surrounding, getting bigger and hotter. When the core reaches around 10 million degrees Celsius, something magical happens. Nuclear fusion kicks in, hydrogen atom starts turning into helium, releasing tons of energy. And just like that, we have a full-grown star.
I actually made a whole video about this process. You can check it out later if you are curious.
Now, let's look at Jupiter. Here's where things get interesting. Jupiter is made up of around 90% hydrogen, way more hydrogen than most stars out there. So, it had the right ingredients to become a star. But the problem is Jupiter didn't pull in enough gases and dust when it was forming. As a result, it's much smaller than even the tiniest dwarf star. The things with Jupiter is it didn't pull in enough gas and dust when it was forming. It ended up being 1000 times smaller than our sun. Jupiter is mostly made of hydrogen, about 90% by volume. But here's the crazy part. The sun is also mostly hydrogen, about 74%. But it's not just about having hydrogen. You also need a huge amount of mass to squeeze those hydrogen atoms together. That's what triggers fusion at the core. And fusion is what makes a star shine. So Jupiter just didn't get massive enough. It suddenly gained 75 times its current mass. It would turn into a second star in our solar system. And if that happened, Earth would be gone. No life, no us. So maybe it's good Jupiter stayed a planet. Even though Jupiter didn't become a star, it still plays a massive role in keeping us safe. Just like the sun, we support life on Earth. In 2013, a near-Earth asteroid, 2013 EC2O, came dangerously close to Earth. But Jupiter's gravity pulled the asteroid away, preventing a potential collision. Every day, Jupiter's gravity pulls in or deflects about 100 to 200 asteroids, comets, and pieces of space debris. That's a lot of cosmic threat. If you are curious about why rockets don't go straight, you can click here. And click here to visit channel and stay tuned for more amazing video. Thanks for watching.